Hi, this is David McCann for WebTNG. In this tutorial, I'm going to look at creating custom post types using MetaBox. WordPress has several options for creating custom fields and custom post types. MetaBox is the second most popular option with more than 500,000 active installs, and the base plugin is available for free from the WordPress plugin directory. This is the 9th tutorial in the series looking at custom post types and theme builders. In the first tutorial in the series, I looked at creating a custom post type and adding custom fields using advanced custom fields. In this one, I will walk through the same process, but will be using MetaBox. I'll use this tutorial as a starting point for others that also use MetaBox. MetaBox is different from the other main alternatives, advanced custom fields, pods, or toolset, because MetaBox is a WordPress custom fields framework. The base plugin that's available for free in the WordPress plugin directory has no user interface. Instead, it includes the basic programming functions that you can leverage using PHP code or with the mini MetaBox extensions. MetaBox is designed to be very modular, and each type of functionality is separated into its own extension. This way, you only have to install what you need. Also, many of the MetaBox features can be accomplished with code, and the modularity and support for code makes MetaBox a favorite with developers. As we will see, however, while the free version is light on user interface options, those are available in the premium extensions. We can see by looking at the MetaBox plugin on WordPress that it's regularly kept up to date. It has more than 500,000 active installs. That has a large number of 5-star reviews, and that the support team is active. When we look at the extensions here on the MetaBox website, I've chosen free. And you can see that the free extensions include integration with Elementor and Beaver Themer, providing relationships between custom post types, the REST API, Comment Meta, Yoast SEO, and a custom post type and custom taxonomies extension used for creating custom post types. And we'll be using this in our tutorial. When we look at the premium extensions, we see there's MetaBox Views and MetaBox Blocks. The Views extension lets you create content templates using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Twig. And the Blocks extension uses the same tools to help you create blocks for Gutenberg. There are a large number of premium extensions. Some of them are pretty powerful and useful, such as the ability to use a custom table, create a front-end form for submission, geolocation, and conditional logic. Many of these premium extensions add a user interface. Some of the premium extensions can be purchased separately, or they can be purchased in bundles. For example, there's a core bundle with 12 extensions, and there is a developer bundle with all extensions. These are one-year subscription bundles. There's also available a lifetime bundle. In addition to the regular premium extensions, when you purchase the developer bundle or the lifetime bundle, you also get a MetaBox all-in-one plugin, which gives you access to all of the extensions from within the WordPress admin. MetaBox has an extensive document library. Here you can see each of the extensions is documented. And there's also documentation for the online tools. Here there's an online generator for custom fields that we'll look at, and there's one for custom post type and taxonomies. I have here a test site using the free Cadence theme, and I've added some posts, and I have WP Reset Pro and WP Vivid Backup plugins installed for resetting the site in between test sessions. So you install MetaBox just like any other WordPress plugin. And when you activate it, there is an information screen. It points you to the online generator to go and generate your custom fields and custom post types. And then it also has some sales information. They list the extensions here, and we're going to use this MetaBox custom post type extension. So let's go and install that next. And when we install that, now we do get a menu. This is the screen we looked at previously, but now we have the option to create custom post types and create custom taxonomies. So let's start and create our custom post type. The screen to create the custom post types organized by tabs. So I'm going to start, we'll create a custom post type called books. And then these are all the labels that WordPress uses. And we're just going to leave those at their default. And then these are the advanced settings. And you have options whether it's going to be public, whether it's going to be hierarchical, like pages, exclude from search, publicly queryable, show in the user interface. Then you have an option for where in the menu you want to show it. You can show it as a top level menu item, which I want to do, but you also have the option to not show an admin menu or to place it as a sub-menu. So that's a nice feature. Whether you want to show it in nav menus, in the admin bar, expose it to the REST API, and then the menu position. So we'll put it in after comments. These are the dash icons that come with WordPress, and you can click one for your custom post type. So I'll click this book icon. I want it to have an archive, and that looks good. Oh, I don't want it to be deleted if the user is deleted. Then we go to the supports tab, and these are the features of posts. And so what title editor, we'll have excerpt and author, thumbnails, and revisions. Then the last tab is for taxonomies. We can apply it to one of the built-in ones, but I want to create a custom one. We haven't done that yet. Before I publish this, note that there is the option here to output everything that we've chosen in the user interface as PHP code if you wanted to add it to your own plugin, for example. So let's publish this. And here's our book custom post type. See, it shows up there. Now, let's go back and let's create our custom taxonomy. Again, we have a tabbed interface. We'll call it genres. And the slug, by the way, this is the name in the database. Again, we're going to just accept the defaults for the labels. And then in advanced, and you have the same type of variables if it's going to be public and publicly queryable. It's going to be hierarchical, show in the UI, show in the menu, expose it to navigation menus, show it on the edit page, expose it to the REST API, show in the tag cloud, show in quick edit. And here's an option to show in the admin column. So I want to add that. And now we'll go with those and look at post types. And now we can assign it to the book custom post type. Again, we have the option to get the PHP code. So I'll publish that. Here is our books custom post type. That was pretty easy to create. And here's our genres categories. But if we look here, we have our regular edit screen for title and content. We have the place where we can enter the genre and the featured image, but we have no custom fields. And the free version of MetaBox doesn't come with a user interface with a GUI for adding custom fields. If we look at the dashboard, it tells you to use the online generator. So let's go to the online generator. On the MetaBox site, it's this menu link here. So we have a number of different types of fields. MetaBox has a large number of fields. There are more than 30 field types available here, and I think there may be even more field types that MetaBox supports. Here are the basic fields, the advanced fields, like embeds and Google Maps and date-time color picker, autocomplete, and whatnot. Then here's some WordPress fields: post, taxonomy, user, uploads like image, which we'll use, or video. And then these are just layouts like dividers and headings. Okay, so let's start by creating a text field. And when we do that, we see it gives it kind of a random name. And it says it must be unique. And it recommends using only lowercase letters, numbers, and underscores. So I'm going to call this book author. Okay, you can add a description, you can add default value, a placeholder text. You can limit the size of the input box. And you can check here to make it clonable, which is a repeater field. There's the option up here to delete it or duplicate the field. Then there's an advanced tab, and here you can add custom HTML displayed before the field output or after the field output. And you can give the field a CSS class. And then there's the option to create custom attributes. And when you do that, that's basically key value pairs like name value. So if you want to have those for your custom field, you can add that there. Next, let's go and add an image field. And this will be book, author, photo. Upload author photo. We can add a description. I just want them to upload one photo. This is deleting files from the media library when you delete them from the post meta. And again, the option to make it clonable. And the same options here in the advanced tab. And now I want to add a URL field. And this is going to be book, author, website. Have the same options here, and the same options here. Okay, so those are the three custom fields I want to add. Now to finish, you go to the settings tab. This is the name for our MetaBox group. So we're going to call it book fields and give it an ID. Now this is for our post type books, but it has no way of knowing that. So you have the option of post or page. And then the priority is if there are several different groups of custom fields or information there, whether show it first or later, an autosave option, and then a prefix if you want to add a prefix to the field IDs. So since I prefixed everything with the word book, I'm just going to leave that off. And then text domain, this is used if you want to have translations. So I'm going to call this book as well. And now there's the option to generate code. And so here is all the code that corresponds to the choices we made. I'm going to copy that, but what do I do with it? Before we leave this page, I want to point something out, and that is that although we have these little tooltips here, there's not really any on-page help. So if you have questions about this process, there's not really any on-page help to show you how to use, for example, this code. Now going back to our website, there are three ways that you can add custom code like this. You can create a child theme and put the code in the child themes functions PHP file. You can create a custom plugin, or you can use a plugin like Code Snippets to add the code in the WordPress admin. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to search for Code Snippets. And I did a tutorial on this, so there's a text version and a video. Activate it. So now we get a new admin menu item here. I'm going to add new, and I'm going to paste the code in, and we're going to call it adding custom fields to the book custom post type. There's the option here to run it everywhere, only in the admin, only on the front, or run only once. I want it to run everywhere because I want those fields available in the editor on the back end, but also to be able to show them on the front end. You can add a description here. You can give it a tag, so I'll call it PHP. And then you could save. But before we save, we've got some problems here. So we've copied this code, and we can see that the code snippet plugin already adds a PHP tag, so I need to delete that. And then we say add filter your prefix register metaboxes. So we'll call it books register metaboxes, and we'll put that here. So that fixes those two issues. But then we say here, it says metabox for post type post, and we know that that's book, so we need to change that. And so now I think we're ready to go. Let's save changes and activate this snippet. Now, if we've done everything correctly, when we go in to add new, we should see our books custom fields here. So here's our field for adding the book author, for adding a photo, for adding a link to the author's website. Here's our place for our genre and the regular WordPress post fields. So great. At this point, we've used the free version of Metabox and the online generator, and we've created a custom post type, custom taxonomy, and we've added custom fields. So this is how to do it with the free version of Metabox. After all this work, you may think I'm crazy, but I'm going to reset the site and start over again. But this time I'm going to show you how to do the same process using the premium version of Metabox, so we can see that experience and how that works as well. So I've got the WP Reset Pro plugin installed, and I made a snapshot starting, which was before adding and creating a custom post type with Metabox. And this is when I was doing the written version. I stepped through this using the premium version. So you can see I saved these in case I needed them. But I'm going to use this one here and go back to before all of the things we've done in the video. The only thing it's done here is it's kept these three things. It doesn't delete those, so I'm going to remove them now. Alright, so we're starting over. Here's our home page, Cadence theme with some posts. Here are the plugins that we have installed. There's no Metabox here. Alright, now, as I said, Metabox has this extension all-in-one. So I'm going to pause the video and install that. Okay, so here we install it, activate it, and here's the Metabox all-in-one plugin. But up here there's a notice that says that Metabox is required and gives us the option to begin installing the plugin. So we need to install that base version, the framework from WordPress.org. So I'm going to install that and now activate it. And here now we have Metabox and the Metabox all-in-one plugin, both of them installed. And now we have this menu item. We have this dashboard like we had before, but we have a menu item for post types, for taxonomies, for views, for custom fields, for templates. This is where you can create custom fields using YAML syntax. This is a list of all of the extensions. So here are all of the extensions, and you can see they're enabled by default. Some of them require a third-party add-on because they add Metabox support for those. But anyway, here they all are, and it's in one plugin. So that's nice. It doesn't overwhelm the plugin list. Can you imagine if you had a plugin for each of these in the plugin list? All right, so now let's go through the same process again and see what's different when we use the premium version. We go to create a new custom post type, and these screens are going to be the exact same because it's the same as the free extension. But let's just run through it quickly. We're going to accept all the labels. We go to advanced, and we choose that we want it to show after the dashboard. We choose the book icon. We want to have archives. Okay, so now we go to supports, and we want to support excerpt and author and revisions. Taxonomies, again, we haven't created our taxonomy yet. So we publish that. Now we go to taxonomies and we add one. Going to go with the label defaults. We'll go to advanced, and we want to show this as a column in the admin. And we'll go to post types, and again now we can choose the book custom post type. So we'll publish that. Now here's where things are different. We have a menu item here now to add custom fields and a GUI within WordPress to do that. So this looks kind of familiar. We have the same fields listed here. So let's go ahead, and our field group is going to be called book fields. And notice it fills in the ID automatically. So we add our text field for book author. But now we have some additional options here. We can make it a required field, we can make it read-only, or it can be disabled. And it can also be clonable to make it a repeater field. When we look at appearance, this is similar to what we had before. And then under advanced, there's all these custom attributes again. But there's also the option to add conditional logic, visibility options. So that's pretty cool. That's an advanced feature that's not available from the online generator. Now let's go ahead and add the image. Here again you have a required option, and you have the option for conditional logic. And now let's add our URL. Okay, so we have these same things here, and there's also a conditional logic option. So here are our custom fields. Now we go to the settings menu, and you can show it for posts, taxonomies, pages, whatever. But our post type, now we can choose book. So that's another thing we weren't able to do in the online generator because it didn't know, of course. Couldn't look up what our custom post types were. Always show, always visible. We can have conditional logic rules. So only show this group of fields under certain conditions. The position again. And I'm going to leave this blank since we prefixed everything with the word book. Give it a text name of book. You can add custom attributes now to the field group now as well. And there's the option to save the data in a custom table. This also wasn't available in the online generator. And depending on your project, this can be a useful and powerful feature. Okay, so I'm going to save changes now. If we've done everything correctly, when we go to the book custom post type and add a new book, here's our genre, and here are our custom fields. You can see this was quite a bit easier than when using the free version, and it has some additional features. Right? I'm going to pause the video now and add some book records. Okay, so you can see I've added some book records here. We see our genre listed in admin column. Let's go take a look at one on the front end. Wow. The featured image is huge. Here's the title, the author, post meta, content, comments, but none of the custom fields show. That's a limitation of WordPress, that custom fields don't show by default. So we're going to need some kind of theme template or some builder tool that has the ability to do some theming so that we can adjust the size of the featured image and so that we can output the custom fields. Discussion and conclusions. I found MetaBox to be very capable for creating the book custom post type, the genre taxonomy, and adding the custom fields. The modular nature and the reliance on the code generators with the free version means that it definitely is more of a developer tool. Developers who are used to doing things with code and who put lean performance above convenience will appreciate and prefer the modular and code output options. Average users, however, could get lost, especially with the online generator where there's no on-screen help tutorials. Also, average users aren't going to know what to do with the PHP code once it's generated. I guess the addition of a user interface for creating custom fields is one of the value-added features to encourage users to buy a premium version. Using the premium version with the user interface was much easier. From an end-user perspective, installing the all-in-one plugin makes the process more straightforward. The user interface for creating the custom post types was nicer, in my opinion, than the custom post type UI plugin that's often used with advanced custom fields. The MetaBox tabbed interface breaks up the long list of options, while the other tool just lists all of those things in one long page. Also, there were nice little touches, like the ability to pick an icon right on screen, or to pick the place in the admin where the custom post type menu would appear. The premium version also had extra options. For example, the user interface for adding custom fields had conditional logic, required, and read-only options that were not shown with the online generator. When saving the field group, there was also the option to specify a separate table. These are powerful features not available via the online generator. The ease of use and additional options means that most people would be happier with the premium version. I was pleased with the premium version of MetaBox. The project has good documentation, and there is a lifetime version available. It's a good choice for adding custom post types and custom fields, especially for power users and developers. So, what comes next? The fact that WordPress does not output custom fields on the front end means that to show the author's name, photo, and links to the author's website is going to require the creation of a content template or some theming tool. MetaBox has a views extension for this purpose, and we'll look at that in the next tutorial. So that's a tutorial looking at creating custom post types with MetaBox. There's a text version of the video available on the WebTNG website, along with other tutorials and resources. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching.